Hey, it's Tyler, host of the Tyler Knows Everything podcast, where the nose is crossed out because I always want to learn more. My guest today is super interesting and highly intelligent. And a cool story about her, she's a single working mother who wanted the experience of taking her young son hunting, but she didn't know how. So she hired a hunting guide several weeks before to learn the ins and outs of hunting, and then she was able to take her son several weeks later. Please welcome Stacie Kimberlain.
Tyler
knows
everything.
Seasons change and our love went cold. Feed the flame 'cause we can't let go. Run away, but we're running in circles.
All right, everybody. Well, welcome to the Tyler Knows Everything podcast, where the nose is crossed out because I always want to learn more. And today we have a fabulous guest, Stacie Kimberlain. And the real reason I brought you on is because I'm trying to increase my LinkedIn following. So I'm hoping I can springboard off of you there.
all right.
You know,
I'll make sure of it.
They have such a different algorithm, I guess, than Facebook, because
They do.
Facebook puts everything in your face instantly, and it's got to get a certain number of reactions in 24 hours or it's gone. It's not going
Yeah.
to show up until your time hop comes around next year. But
Yeah.
I'm still getting reactions on stuff that I put on LinkedIn from weeks and weeks ago.
Oh,
And-
man. You know, I did a post, it was probably about 6 months ago, and it was about Lady Gaga, okay?
Yeah.
And it was, do you remember that one? I don't know if you do, okay? But I did it 6 months ago, and I put a quote on there because it was talking about how she was in Subway with her boyfriend and how she would never amount to anything. Okay?
Oh, I do.
Do you remember
one.
that?
Yeah, right.
She ended up winning an award, and I put it on there. I didn't think nothing of it because, you know, on LinkedIn, you got to mix it up.
Yeah.
It gets boring. All these
Right.
canned posts, come on, knock it out. You know what I mean?
People posting a job, people.
Yeah. So I looked on there the other day because I got another like from it, and that was 6 months ago, and it has close to 10 million views.
Wow.
Yes, and it's like over, 100,000, probably close to 200,000 likes. You know, and a lot of times I just let people comment. I don't ever go back and comment. Like on something like that, that would be crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That post went viral.
Yeah.
It was insane.
So you like to post and drop?
Not always.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Sometimes
on
you-
that, I couldn't keep up with that. I mean, there were so many comments on it, and it's like now people are talking to each other and
Oh,
this
yeah.
and that, and I'm like, okay, I'm out. You know, like this is almost not even my post anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it is very important to go back and comment, and some people don't.
The
You know,
follow-up.
and the thing is, if you go back and comment, one, it's really nice to acknowledge the comment that somebody put on there. But two, it pushes you back up.
Right.
You know, the good thing about LinkedIn is that whenever somebody likes your post, it gets in front of their followers as well.
Yeah, and Facebook used to do that, and it doesn't really.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, you know, it used to give you a notification that somebody liked this. And it would show up
Yeah.
in the feed. Now.
Well, you
it's-
can change that setting. Thank goodness.
Oh yeah.
You never know. Some of you may not want to see. Now, Twitter is like that.
Yeah, for sure. And why don't you think Twitter is bigger in Southeast Texas?
You know, I always viewed Twitter as more of like, okay, so my daughter's 16 and she's into Twitter, but Instagram is the big thing. You
Yeah.
know, she's really into Twitter. A lot of kids her age, probably even college people, I'm sure. But I always viewed it as like more celebrity. You know,
That's right.
a lot of times I just get on there just to look. You know, there's no strategic way that I even go on there to try to get more followers, you know, or anything like that. But like, I just go on there to read, and sometimes I get lost on Twitter just
Yeah.
looking at the videos, and some of it's funny, you know. And then now I've turned into that person where, like, if somebody puts something on Facebook where it's like, you know, there's a football game or whatever, and then they put, why did whatever player it is do that? It's like, and no picture. I'm like, that should be on Twitter, not Facebook.
Yeah,
you
Twitter's
know,
more
like I
sensitive.
know Twitter or something. Come on. But, you know, like Twitter is more of like just like a quote or a saying.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of pictures. There's videos and things like that. But like, it's more about just somebody just saying something.
And you got Instagram that's nothing but pictures.
Nothing but pictures. Yeah.
And I've got a completely different following on Facebook than I do on Instagram.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a tiered thing, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, is your close friends, family, people you don't really know. I don't even know half the people on there. A lot of times people call me like, "How do you know this person?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I have no clue. Like, I don't know." And then Instagram is a little more private.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, and you have your, close friends, and then some of them you don't know. I mean, hell, I follow a lot of shops. I shop a little too much on Instagram. I'm
There
not
you
even
go.
kidding. And then, Snapchat is like your close people.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just fun,
Yeah.
And so there's all these little tiers, and then LinkedIn is definitely my business people, and my partnerships and everyone from work, and that is my biggest following is LinkedIn. It's like one of my biggest social media outlets, honestly.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we grew up before social media. We're about the same age. So take us
Yeah.
back to kind of how you went from growing up to where you are now.
Oh, okay. So, it's funny. I was telling you earlier how a lot of people, will look at someone, and I've been guilty of it before, not so much anymore, but they look at somebody and they just think, like, automatically make up this story in their head where they're from. They probably came from this type of family or whatever. But honestly, I grew up in pageants.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom, put me in pageants, and back then I didn't appreciate it probably like I should have, because pageants back then, you really had to be probably know your stuff, I guess. I mean, nowadays it's more of the makeup and the big hair and the flippers and whatever, but
And nowadays probably have more winners, I'm sure. Just like everything else, right?
yeah,
It was
probably.
more
It's like the
com-
crowns are like this tall, where back then it was like, a little bit. Yeah, so I was in pageants, but I did not grow up in a wealthy family. I mean, and that's part of why I work so hard, or business is so important to me, because my mom worked her butt off, and my dad did too. So that I could be in pageants, and that I could be on a competitive cheer team, and that I could be a cheerleader.
Right.
And it's so funny because back then I didn't appreciate it that much. I feel bad. I feel bad now because I have a 16-year-old and preaching that to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, we grew up in South Park.
Mm-hmm.
It was rough, but I met a lot of good people. And I went to Peach and MacArthur. Then I went to Austin Middle School. And then I cheered at Central for a year. And then I cheered my last 3 years of high school at Westbrook. But it's so funny because these people that I was friends with, even at Peach and MacArthur and Austin, and even from Central, you build these relationships that you're always going to be friends with them. I run into them, and that kind of relationship, that feels good.
Yeah.
I like all of that. But anyway, my mom is Cajun, French, and German.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she actually never appreciated the story or even heard about it until probably about a year ago. I actually overheard her telling my sister-in-law's mom the story of how her great-grandpa was in World War II, and his last name was Derek. And there was a fallen soldier, and he took his last name of Johnson. And so my mom's maiden name is Johnson. And her dad was German, and then her mom was Cajun French. And so that history is, I don't know, I love that.
Yeah.
Like, I love learning about the history. And when I heard it, I go, well, you ain't never told me that story, Mom. Like, what? She's like, well, you never asked. Well, tell me. That's kind of important, you know? And, but I have two brothers. Older brother lives in Minnesota, younger brother in Houston, we all pretty close, but also at the same time, my family raised us to be strong, raised us to work. I used to mow yards with my dad.
Yeah.
And I was mowing grass at 10, 11 years old,
Yeah, because you have a really natural hustle work ethic.
I think so, and I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I try to do things you know, I think that I can do everything that everybody else can, you know, that a man can do, but not really.
Yeah.
Kind of try to.
Well, because most of the jobs that you and I have had, it's never in the job description that you have to market yourself on social media or
Right.
do all this extra stuff.
Yeah.
But we all
yeah.
do it because that's part of our mentality of, you know, I can't go out and get a yellow page ad or something
Yeah,
old
yeah,
school. I'm not
yeah.
going to do that. So you're taking these tools that you think are the cutting edge and they're maybe even further ahead than this area might even be ready for, you know, several years ago. And
Yeah.
now they're kind of, everybody's catching on.
Yeah, yeah. Which is good because they need that.
Mm-hmm.
What I love though about our generation, Tyler, what is it, the Zennials?
I say that for me, I say I'm Generation X.
Okay, but there is that one little small little generation that's a XE whatever,
The in between, yeah.
the in between.
Exennials.
And to me, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because we're fortunate enough to know the old school ways.
Yeah.
You know, we go out, we shake people's hands,
Mm-hmm.
we trade off business cards. You know, we can hold a conversation.
Right.
It is not uncomfortable.
Sure. Because when people try to tell me I'm a millennial, I'm in that age range, you know, born in '82. I say, hold on. My first,
I know,
my
right?
first cell phone was my freshman year of college, and
Yeah.
that phone was in a bag. You had to unzip the bag, raise the antenna, and you only use it in emergencies because it
Only in
costs
emergencies.
$15 a minute or something. So I would not consider that
Yeah.
millennial. I mean, I didn't have what we would call fast internet like broadband until I got to the dorms of the college because we had dial-up back at home.
Oh yeah, AOL.
Mm-hmm.
That little
What was
three-
your AOL Instant Messenger username?
I don't even know.
So back then, the game was you had to come up with a clever away message. You remember that?
Yeah, yeah. But you know, yeah, I do. Gosh, that's been a while.
That's taking you back.
Yeah, it's taking me back. I do remember when it got into MySpace and all that
Yeah.
good stuff. I had that for a little hot minute, but like, I really wasn't into it then.
Do
you
you
know?
think your MySpace is still out there somewhere?
No, I don't know.
It-
Did I deactivate it? I don't know.
I had to try very hard to get it taken down because I was like, that email address is probably 5 email addresses ago.
Yeah, I probably don't even know what it is.
So I think I had to email MySpace directly and like authenticate myself and say, please just delete the whole thing. But-
Yeah, like I wonder, like, I mean, but is it still like a legit social channel?
It kind of became music, like music artists took it on, and I don't know.
Interesting.
It's still out there, but I don't know what it is today.
Oh God.
Irrelevant is what it is.
Yeah, irrelevant
Probably.
is right. I just seen some kind of meme on Twitter the other day when they're like, when you meet somebody at the age that they don't even know what MySpace is. Like what?
Yeah,
Like I know
exactly.
for a fact my kids would not know what MySpace is. At
You know
all.
the iPhone game, the Heads Up, where you do it's like
Oh,
charades?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
was playing that with my son.
Love that.
And it was compact discs, a picture of CDs. So I had to describe what was in the picture, and I was like, wow, you're gonna have a hard time with this one. So I described it exactly what they were, and he had no clue, and he was like, what is it? And he turned it around. He was like, oh yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh,
And
yeah.
at the same time, another one of my friend's sons said, why does your truck have a DVD player? You don't have a screen in here. He's like, no, that's for audio CDs.
Yeah, yeah. And the phones. Like,
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you remember payphones at the mall.
Payphones and rotary
Pagers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pagers, we had codes. You know, when you're mad at somebody, they do a certain code and you flip it
Yeah.
up and down and like, oh, they're
Right.
mad. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Mhm.
And we thought we were so cool just having a pager.
Texting with T9, 3, you had to hit.
Oh,
You know, if you wanted an S, you had to work for that S.
yeah, it was like annoying. Like, I'm like, nah. I thought about the other day, when did I really get into texting? I don't know. Gosh, I must have been probably around
I was
25-ish, 26 maybe.
Yeah, because for a while there, texting, voicemail, caller ID, that was additional features that you had to pay for. So,
Oh, yeah,
so I would basically just have some random number call me and say hello, and if I didn't answer, I don't know who it was. I didn't have to, you know, they couldn't leave a message at all.
Yeah. Well,
Now it's, you know, pretty standard features. But so speaking of all this technology that we've come into, you know, now you're a single working mother.
yeah.
I'm sure that at this age and your level of business and, you know, teenagers at the house, the dating scene can be kind of random and funny and hilarious and peculiar.
Yeah, to say the least. Wow. You know, I have two sides of that. The side that is just like, I'm hanging with my girls and can you believe this and dating. And then I have the side that's really like, you know, they're just trying to date. You know what I mean? It's really hard. It just depends, you know, but I had to really think about, I've been single, gosh, probably going on 3 years now. And I went on dates. Don't think I'm weird.
Yeah.
It's not a disease. A lot. Isn't it funny though? Like if you're single, people are like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "I'm good."
They want to fix you up immediately.
Yeah, they're like, "I think I know. Hey, come over here.
Right,
Do you
right.
remember we need to hook her up with him?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm good." You know, like I'm not weird. I promise.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a disease. I'm good. Like, yeah. I think for me, you know, I have fun with my friends and things like that. But like, what was important to me is business and my kids and my relationship, my personal relationship with God.
Right.
And though that's my top, you know, and I had to, because everyone these days, I hate to say it, I mean, I've done it before, you want to please society. You know what I mean? Like everybody, you know, like we just talked about, wants to hook you up with somebody, but why? Like what? I'm good.
Yeah, it's like they feel like they're doing you a favor.
Yeah, let me get you somebody. Yeah, like I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like there's nothing wrong with it, but I had to also realize too that I had to step back and think, why do I really want to be in a relationship? You know, because there's nothing against those people that do. There's hopeless romantics out there. They want to be married. You know, it could be their third or fourth.
Yeah.
But that's what they're destined to do.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they don't even care if they're with the wrong person. They just want to be
Yeah.
with somebody.
With someone. And that's fine. Like, good for them. But for me personally, and I can only talk about me personally, is that I don't think that I can give someone the time that they deserve right now.
Right.
Because my top reason is always going to be God for sure, you know, and my kids, you know, and business is very important to me because it took these past 4 years for me to build it,
Yeah, for sure.
pouring
And,
myself into it.
yeah, and you've got your career rocking, and you've got kids that are in multiple sports, going different places. So if you've got a guy that's, you know, say he's an old traditional guy and he wants you home at 5 o'clock with dinner on the stove, that's not going to happen.
Not
right?
happening.
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And they have those girls out there that'll be like, I'll cook you dinner. You'll come home. You're my king. And you
Right.
put it on the table and you know, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you know, that's good. That's great. You know, I wish I could be multiple people. But for me, it's like even my kids know, hey, I'm only domestic Sunday through Tuesday. That's it. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Like by Wednesday, it's pizza. What do y'all want to eat? I'm tired. I ran out of ideas. We done did the hamburgers, the spaghetti, the chicken spaghetti, the burritos. I mean, tacos. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I kind of have a similar rotation.
Yeah, it's just a
like,
rotation.
It's like a cafeteria menu. You know?
It really is.
Friday is hamburger day.
Yeah, I mean, like, and so, like, my kids know Sunday, I'm cleaning my house. I'm doing laundry. Let's hope the hell I make it to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Because that is the one thing I cannot stand doing is grocery shopping.
Right.
Thank God. Thank you to the good Lord. They have the pickup
The
grocery.
curbside.
The curbside.
Because,
Okay.
because going to the grocery store for you probably turns into social hour, not because you want it to, but because everybody else.
It's like, it's social hour, and it's what else can I buy that I don't need?
Well, yeah. Don't
but
even
I'm
try
just,
to go to HEB Plus.
yeah, it's like, you know what? I'm out here. Might as well take my time. Let's see what all I need. And then I come out, and I'm like, I didn't even get half the stuff to make one meal.
Yeah.
Like, what did I buy?
Right, right.
I mean, so then I'm having to hit up the next grocery store, you know. But I do, you know, I'll try to do the grocery store thing, you know, probably like a normal person should probably do on Sundays, I guess, and plan out the meals or whatever. But yeah, I do try to cook on Mondays and Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But after that, hey, it's out to eat or you're on your own.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, and if my kids aren't home, honestly, I mean, I'll eat cereal.
Yeah.
I just
That's
don't.
a good go-to.
Yeah, yes. Anybody that says they don't like Fruity Pebbles or Cinnamon Toast
For sure.
Crunch.
You know what I just recently found? There's a new company called Magic Spoon. and
Magic Spoon.
They've gone and recreated all your favorite childhood cereals with
Stop
with
it.
0 sugar and added protein.
Is that good?
I haven't tried it yet, but they have all the different versions. You know, like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch version, a Fruity Pebbles version.
Really?
I'll have to try it and see.
I mean, let me know.
I mean, it can't be any more manufactured than real current cereal, right?
True. It's true. You know, I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, I woke up, it's Saturday morning. Sunday's grocery shopping day.
Uh-huh.
So, you may be out of milk,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I just wish that there was like a drive-through cereal place.
Mm-hmm.
You're like still in your pajamas. You're like, I'm just going to drive through. Can you give me a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Yeah.
Some milk. Just give me you know what I mean?
They have that in Europe because they don't have a lot of the same cereals that we have on the shelf, and so there's a food truck called Cereal Killer, and it's all
wow.
it's all the American, like the craziest cereals with the most amount of marshmallows and fruity stuff and all the dyes, and
That's pretty awesome.
but they're going to it as a dessert because they don't have that. There's not a lot of processed foods as much as there are here.
Sounds boring,
so
but
it's
probably
really
cool.
Yeah, it's funny though.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, like, that's me. When you have teenagers,
Mhm.
I mean, I can only because I mean, when they were younger, yeah, I could say we did eat at the table,
Mhm.
5 meals a week. I was way more domestic, but when you were single, you don't have that much time.
Yeah.
Like you were stretched,
Mhm.
and you were stressed,
Yeah.
and you are working a lot of hours, and you have to learn to check yourself out when they come home, and that's hard.
Right.
And I am guilty of Kelsey, my 16-year-old, because she'll call me out on it, of her sitting there and talking to me, and I'm doing, yeah. And she goes, you don't even know what I'm saying. I'm like, you know what? I really don't. I feel bad. Go ahead. Tell me again, baby. I'm listening.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, your mind is elsewhere,
Yeah.
And
Multiple places, and you have to kind of
yeah.
you have to kind of come down a little bit.
Yeah, and because like the job that you do, and I do, and when you're in that, out everywhere, or even traveling, and entertaining and going to events and marketing and things like that, like you always have to be on.
You have to amp yourself up
yeah.
before you give a presentation,
Whew.
and then after you
Like jumping jacks. I did
Yeah.
like 100 before I came in here. Just kidding. I probably should.
and then after you really kill it on a presentation, you're on a high. Like,
Oh,
there's,
yeah.
there's no greater feeling than when I really nail like a room full of people.
Yeah.
in a big conference room in Houston. I'm happy for days after that.
But it's also, you give, a presentation like that, or, if I'm traveling and I do teach classes, or, I coach on branding or anything like that, and, you are on a high, and then you come home and you have to go, okay, well, I'm just a mom here. Like, they're not trying to talk to me. Like,
you're not on the pedestal
no,
anymore.
you're not. You're like sweeping the floors and mopping.
And there's
you know.
no chance of you rationalizing to your kids what you just did today.
No.
And the importance of that, to your family and your career, and they're just not having it. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if Kelsey walked in and Ty walked in right now and you asked them, so what does your mom do for a living? They would literally go like, I don't really know. Like, because I could tell them 100 times and they're just like not interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny how they describe it, or how my kids used to describe it.
I mean, and then again, you look at the good part about that is you don't have to be on at home.
Yeah.
You're just
yourself.
you.
Yeah.
And, you can be in your pajamas or your gym clothes and they just accept you for you and they're your mom, or dad or whatever, So that's always nice too, to just kind of check out. But, so yeah, back to dating though.
Have you ever used any of the dating apps?
No.
Never.
No.
Not a.
And I don't want to come off like, no, never.
Right.
Like, I don't want to come off like that.
But also, you're not searching, so
I'm not.
And that's typically what those for. And the
Yeah.
whole premise of those apps is for like rapid speed. Like, you're getting matched and messaged right away, and you're
Yeah.
trying to decline from some of the messages, right?
Yeah, because I mean, I would be scared to death. Like if I got on on like a dating app and they're like messaging me, I'm like, I didn't know it was gonna happen today. I thought it was gonna be like 6 months from now. Like I wouldn't want to
Yeah,
do
right.
that. And not that there's anything wrong with it, because like I said, there's people out there that are ready to date. They want to go on date 5 days a week, 6 days a week. I don't freaking know, but I don't have that kind of time. And
It sounds expensive.
probably. I mean, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't want to do that to them,
Right.
like, and that's another thing. Like, I don't really want to go on, you go on that first date, you're like, of course it's going to be like an interview process. It sounds exhausting as hell.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know.
It's almost like you have to you have to catch that person up on the amount of years old you are. Like,
Yeah.
well, what have you been doing the past
38 years.
Yeah.
Well, I was born here, and then like, oh my
Yeah.
God. And then it's like, by the time you leave, you're like, okay, I'm tired of talking about myself.
Yeah, you're mentally exhausted.
Sounds
Yeah.
boring as hell.
Right.
But and also I kind of chalk it up to be sometimes. Well, I haven't been on a date, and I couldn't tell you how long. But I mean, business though. It's like if you talk about business, then it's like that becomes that's it, and that's all you're talking about or whatever. But yeah. So speaking of dating apps, no.
Well, which
no.
social media app sends you the craziest DMs?
Oh yeah, definitely Facebook.
Facebook DMs?
Facebook. The second would be Instagram for sure.
Yeah.
But definitely Facebook and
Younger guys on Instagram?
yeah.
Older gentlemen on Facebook?
No,
All
yeah,
ages?
true. All ages on Facebook. More of the younger ones on Instagram. But
Are you amazed at some of the boldness?
I am. I see it two ways. I want
Yeah.
to say this. I do see it two ways. I think, good Lord, I mean, like, talk about confident.
Yeah,
but
and
then again, it's like, wow, talk about confident.
Yeah, and it seems like we're willing to type things that we probably would not say in person or do in person.
Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, those people probably aren't the same people in person.
Could be.
They're more comfortable behind, on the messenger. But, I'm going to say this. I don't check my messenger often at all. Sometimes.
Is it scary in there?
It's just a lot,
To
a little
process?
overwhelming. I'm not going to lie. Once in a blue moon, I feel like, I feel bad. Like, I don't want them to get, like,
Because some of it may be legitimate business networking.
well,
It-
yeah.
Mixed in.
That's why I'm going to say now, like, if it's business, you better make sure your first 3 words are, like, in all caps, open up, it's business, or business, open up, or
Right,
something,
yeah.
because, like, you don't want to open it because then they know you're ready.
Yeah, and then you're obligated to respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not that I want to say this. It is not that I wouldn't like them. They're probably great people.
Yeah.
Probably people I probably should message back. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just that I am not going to probably talk to them after I open it. I don't know. Or maybe a few
Yeah.
times.
And
Or I don't know.
And probably like you said, those people are looking to go on a date like this coming Friday. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
so-
that's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, so I don't open it. I don't typically pull it up at all because I don't want to feel bad if I don't open it. So I just like don't do it at all.
So for some of the funny occurrences, you mentioned that you've been kind of jotting them down from
I
time to
have.
time.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, it's not just about like messengers and nobody freak out if they try to message me, but
Yeah.
like no, like over the years since I've been single, like I said, it's been almost 3 years. But yeah, like I've been on dates, and I've always told myself this, even when I was like in high school, you can make the situation. So like if this is somebody you're sitting it across in like the first 5 minutes, you're like, no way. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, if I'm going to go on a date, I probably really know them prior to even going.
Right.
But I still try to just have a good time, because just because you're different people and you're not going to date, just have a good time.
Right.
So I always like tell myself, okay, you make the situation, So, but yeah, I do keep a journal. I hope nobody freaks out that's listening to this.
You're like the Taylor Swift of
Oh,
Well, no.
easy, killer. Dang. Shots fired. I'm not going to go like write music. I see you got a guitar here. I might go pick it up and start
There you go.
doing something. It's going to sound horrible. But no, kind of. But in book form.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, so I just keep a journal. Why not? I mean, it's good. You know, sometimes I look back and go, oh my God, I can't believe, like, what was I thinking? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, I try to jot it down, like, not long after because you don't
Right.
want to forget it and then you're not going to try to make something up, you know? So,
I'm sure it's got to be impressive content because I know a guy that's kind of done the same thing, an opposite version on the mail, and he seems to be one of those that attracts like really clingy, crazy women, and he just keeps on.
Is that what he claims?
Well,
yeah.
and he just keeps on dating them. So he has some stories too, and he writes them down. And, I mean, you know, the type that are like, you know, trying to climb a window, and you know that level of stuff. Not,
not a unicorn.
Yeah, for sure. But it's gonna be. I mean, there's far less interesting things on reality TV that would probably, you know, people would find your book really entertaining.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it's all good humor.
Yeah.
You know, like for me, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's somebody's gonna write something about me. I'm not saying I'm for everyone, you know, but they do all have a nickname.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say that, because I wouldn't dare put their real name, you know.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
But not only that, it's just like back when I was freshly single that summer, you know, we had a great time. And I mean, like I was with my girlfriends and, you know, most of them live in Houston. And there was so many, I shouldn't say so many, but they would go out on dates or whatever, or we would talk about the guys we went on a date with, you know, and we can't remember their names. Like, I mean, like, I'm not going to be like, hey, do you remember whatever his name is? You know, it's a nickname.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, do you remember Skinny Jeans?
Ah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Or, you know, I mean, I can't give them all away, but I mean, like, there are, like I'm big when it comes to, I'm old school when it comes to like manners, you know,
Yeah, so you got the guy walking into the restaurant and the door slams in your face and you're like, oh, well, okay.
oh my, nothing will piss me off more.
So I mean, I hold the door for strangers, so
yeah, it's kind of like, especially in the South, like, what are you doing? You know, like, or don't walk in front of a girl.
Right.
Like, if I mean, like, seriously, 4 feet in front of a woman, like, it's so rude.
Yeah, you're supposed to do side by side.
And I'm just like,
yeah.
hold up, like, walk, you can be side by side me, like, come on, you know, it's just kind of rude. Or like, you know, they open the door and they walk in, are you kidding me? Like, I'm just like, you know, like, come on, that's not even nerves, that's just straight up, you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, manners, you know, like, there is a nickname that's in there, it's manners. I mean, like, so like, we pinpoint good things, and then there's bad things, and that's how we remember them. You know, so it's a pretty entertaining book. I've thought about it's still going to be a little while before I finish it. I was hoping I would have an ending. Doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Oh, it's like,
You know, I was going to hold out for an ending, but I'm like part 2,
yeah.
part 3.
To be
There's going to be
continued.
like 10 chronicles or something. I don't know. Like, it's going to be crazy. There's not going to be an ending, and everybody keeps reading it, waiting. Up. Plot twist.
you and all the ladies need a podcast where you talk
I
about
want
this.
to. I really want to. I was hoping I can do a spinoff from you, Tyler.
Yeah.
Because to really get, you know, I was even telling my friend, I was like, you can even come undercover. You know, maybe some people don't want to know, you know, or say their name, you know. But to really get it out there and be open and honest about what girls and guys. I mean, hell, I'm not just saying, you know, the guys DM, you know, I'm sure that there's guys out there that get a ton of girl DMs, you know. So both ways. I even thought, but yeah, I think it would be awesome. But I even thought to maybe co-author a book with someone and have it to where the first, you know, so many chapters is me, and then you can flip it over.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then his is the other direction, and then it's his side of it, you know. And you know, you can. I mean, I've looked on Facebook, and there's a few that have stood out to me because let me tell you something, okay? guys that are on all these social media channels and they're talking about girls and they post these memes. Oh, girls do this, girls do this. Do you know I see more guys complaining about the dating world and everything that the way girls act than I do girls on Facebook, you know, talking about the dates they went on or whatever. I feel like the girls may be a little bit more private, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not friends with the drama-fied people.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. But yeah, I even thought that would be a great idea.
Yeah,
to,
I
like,
see
cut
the
off
guys
there.
out there complaining.
Do you? Good. I was hoping
Yeah.
I wasn't just the only one saying that.
Yeah, some of my friends too. Oh man. Well,
Did you say some of them are your friends
yeah,
too?
yeah. I mean, we have some of the same friends. So you probably,
We do. We have a lot of mutual friends, so clearly.
yeah. Well, one thing that you probably follow Gary Vaynerchuk. I follow
I
Gary
do.
V. He's big into social media marketing.
Yeah.
You know, building his brand.
He's
and
awesome, yeah.
He brought up that TikTok is going to be the next big thing. And
Yeah.
I don't know anything about TikTok. And he said the same thing about Snapchat. He said the same thing
Yeah.
about Instagram. So usually he's always right.
Yeah.
He has
And he is.
He's got
Yeah.
tons of videos of him talking back in the 90s, back in the 2000s, of like, here's when I predicted this, and here's when I
Yeah.
predicted that. And so what
So I can tell you, you know, we can start off with TikTok, but I can tell you this, because I do travel for work, and I get to meet a lot of different people in the business, and just to kind of turn back a little bit of what I do, you
Yeah.
know, we say marketing, and I definitely don't want to discount marketing whatsoever, because the business that I work at, the marketing scene is unbelievable. You know, the graphic designs, the flyers, the products we produce, all of that stuff is great. And then, you know, we have business development, and, you know, we do a lot of commercials. I'm a part of a lot of commercials in different states and different areas. And, but the one thing that I especially do in the central region is strategic development.
Right.
And so it's actually building partnerships and relationships with, you know, people in our business, real estate agents, builders, you know, affiliates, you know, anyone. So, and strategically thinking of a way together how I can help them grow their business, and in turn, hopefully they help me grow mine, you know.
Yeah, that's really
So, one of the things that I like to do is help them with social media. You'll be surprised how many people that just don't really get into it, you know.
I know, yeah.
There's a ton, you know, and they also don't think outside the box,
Yeah.
you
for sure.
know. So there's Facebook, of course, and then, you know, I'm a huge fan of LinkedIn. You
Yeah.
just have to use it right, you know.
Yeah, because like you said, there's really not a place to learn that. You know, I've had people
Yeah.
that are in those positions. They're in sales, or they're in marketing, or they're in business development for companies locally,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to do what I do. So they'll say, "Hey, can we go to coffee?" And you just, you know, tell me a little bit about what you do. And it's right, because they're not going to learn that in school. There's no
Right.
class for that.
And I want to say this, and I mean, maybe you've read books on social media. I don't know. But I mean, like, I can't sit on here and say I read books about social media. Now I've scanned them. You know, I'm in Barnes & Noble. Let me flip through it, see if they got a secret I don't know.
You know,
But honestly, it's about personal experience.
Yeah, it is. And you know, this may surprise you, but I'm actually not a reader at all.
Really?
Like nothing. Now, I'll do audio and a lot of podcasts.
Okay.
And I personally believe that I've learned more from podcasts and YouTube
Yeah.
than I did all of college.
Yeah.
I should have just got on the internet back
Yeah.
in 2000. I could
Yeah.
have saved myself, you know, all that. But I take in content visually and
Mm-hmm.
audio. If I follow a book, I'm not going to remember it. I'm going to fall asleep. If you know, so I try to take in content while I'm driving. I can retain everything.
Yeah,
And it's not
yeah.
distracting me from my driving. I'm just that's when I'm hearing things. And I was such a fan of podcasts, I decided to start my own. There's lots of amazing people here in Southeast Texas that I could showcase.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, it
take
really
from
is.
but I didn't want to start until I had, you know, video. I was real. People love to watch a podcast. There's
yeah.
just as many views on the YouTube version as there are on audio downloads.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I am a reader,
mhm.
but not about social media.
Yeah.
I do love to read. I am a wee bit of like a closet nerd, I guess, but I am old school when it comes to that. Like, I won't read it on my iPad or my phone.
Yeah.
I have the actual book,
Uh-huh.
and I do the whole highlight and mark the page, and I may even read it twice.
Now, are you reading fiction or nonfiction?
Oh, nonfiction.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a fiction reader at all. And the books I read always relate to life and business.
Okay.
Always.
Right.
I've learned a lot from the books that I read. And so I always, like, if I'm talking to somebody and I think, oh my gosh, they'll benefit from this book if they're a reader. Hey, use this book, you know. Don't worry about the notes in there now.
Yeah.
Or go buy your own. But no, yeah, I do love to read. Oh my gosh. But speaking of back to social media, there are just certain ways, you know, like for me, I learned just by watching and personal experience. Like I said, LinkedIn is one of my biggest social media channels. Because I just love business, you know, hearing what everybody's doing. And then, of course, there's Instagram, and of course, my Facebook and Instagram are more personal, on a personal level. But yeah, you'd be surprised though. Southeast Texas, even going up into Houston, there's not really many people that even stand out on Snapchat. You're lucky if they're standing out on Instagram, business wise.
Right.
Okay. And it's like, come on, somebody do it, you know? And I don't sell myself, so I don't have that business account, you know?
Right.
But I'm looking at them like, you should do it.
Yeah.
Do it, you know? Because that is the next best thing, you know? And then, of course, TikTok, you know? I'm just learning TikTok. But fortunately, I have a 16-year-old, and she somewhat keeps me cool.
Yeah.
And she would never say I was cool. But I'm cool. And it's partly because of her. So, I mean, she has showed me TikTok. And yes, Gary did say that is the next best thing. So right now, I'm actually in the process of learning how to use it in a business world that you're not selling an actual product.
Right.
You know, clothing. If you're in the clothing and selling clothing, like, you should already be on it
Yeah.
in a heartbeat.
Sure.
I mean, like, if you're selling, I mean, I don't know, even houses or anything, you know, yeah, you should be on it. Figure it out, read
But as
about
far as building a brand, that's what you're trying to research more of, or
it. Well,
maybe a personal brand. I mean,
not personally.
Oh, okay.
I learn it more for people that are just in my industry,
gotcha.
because I want to be able to teach them to
Yeah.
use it.
Okay.
But in the mortgage business, it's like, well, what do you sell? A piece of paper? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to really, you know, come up with some different ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a little bit more challenging, but, you know, I like a challenge.
Yeah, teenage kids really keep you in the loop on things.
Ooh,
And so,
music, all.
yeah, yours is probably 3 years ahead of mine. My oldest is 13. How do you navigate the dating scene for teenagers? Because I haven't really had to cross that bridge yet, but I know it's coming. It's like right around the corner.
So for me, and you know, like, I just want to put this out there, like, this is only personal to me, because I don't want to judge anybody. Everybody has their own thing, you know. But for me, my kids have not met anyone since my last relationship. And the last relationship I had, it was probably about 4 months into it, 4 or 5 months before that he met my kids, you know. So, you know, everyone has different views about that. If your kids are really, really small, I'm sure it's hard, or if, like, you don't have a good co-parenting, you know, relationship, it's hard to really find the time to probably go on a date without having your kids with you, I guess. I don't know. But, like, for me, you know, they have a great dad. They see their dad, and my kids are older. I have a lot more free time. But, like I don't have anyone at my house.
Yeah.
Like, they don't come to my house.
That's great advice. What I meant was, how do you navigate your daughter dating?
We're talking about my daughter dating? No,
Yeah.
no.
That's what I'm trying to get advice for, because it's probably.
I don't even want to think about
so
your daughter dating.
She'll be in high school next year.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so
I
it's-
don't know why I'll always look at Ava as so
Yeah.
small.
So that's a bridge I haven't had to cross yet, but I know I have to be prepared for it, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we can definitely talk about that.
So I was gonna take your advice of, she's gone to prom, right, or dances, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah.
Is it prom yet, or is that next
Well,
year?
prom is typically junior and senior.
So she's just going to dances, like homecoming.
Oh no, Kelsey had went to the.
Oh, she did get invited. to
Kelsey
prom.
will be going to prom all 4 years by the time it's over. Okay, I did not know I was gonna buy a prom dress.
So she was a
every year.
freshman and got it. And why are these kids proposing for prom nowadays?
Oh, you're talking about like the big extravagant
Yeah.
signs.
I never did that.
I honestly feel like it's more of like for the parents.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe not. I mean,
It could
hell.
be. Yeah. If there's anything about a big production for the parents, the community we live, I could definitely agree.
Thank you. I don't want to be
Have
the
you-
only one that said that.
Have you seen the primary school pumpkin contest?
Yes, I've seen that
I
even
don't-
on Facebook.
I don't think it was kids making those
No,
pumpkins.
I'm not gonna lie. When my kid was like in 3rd grade, I made hers. I'm not kidding. Like really, I was thinking like, oh my God, what is, I don't know, Karen gonna say?
Some of those look like they were painted in an automobile paint booth.
I know, right? Mine was not that good, Because like in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, I gotta halfway make look like a kid, but yeah, I think it is more of the parents. It's not. I mean, it's unfortunate, but what do you do? I mean, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
And whatever. It's just like projects. And my kids handle their own, but I'm not gonna lie. There was an age where I'm like, just let me do it. I'll do it, because I'm pretty good at like art and drawing and stuff. And they're
Right.
like, okay,
Yeah.
but
I try to do all the science projects.
I see you do it too. It's the parents. It's
Yeah.
me and you.
There's
We're
a-
the parents.
So you probably had to make an atom in model,
Yeah, we did it.
And you
Mhm.
have balls in the middle. It's supposed to be protons and neutrons. And then you have these rings.
Oh, I
around it.
know you got
Yeah.
all into that.
So that's actually wrong. That was discovered, centuries ago, the Niels Bohr model. Well, now it's the quantum model. So I made a comment to Ava's teacher. I said, everybody that made the Niels Bohr gets an F, and we made the quantum model. It was just a
Oh my
joke. It was
God.
just a
Okay,
joke.
yeah,
but-
okay.
But yeah, but it's-
Tyler, like, I don't know.
it's so cutting edge that like they're not even teaching it yet.
Yeah.
It's cool. So, anyways,
Well, good for Ava. She has a tumbling coach dad and
yeah,
podcast dad and science dad. No,
she wants to be a YouTuber. She wants me to take her to San Diego VidCon next year.
You
with
should.
all the famous YouTubers. I want to go. I mean,
that's perfect.
yeah. But I got
Yeah.
into, I've got all the equipment now for media. So her and her friends, they make YouTube videos, funny stuff, going to the dollar store of all the
Yeah.
crazy things you can get for $1.
Yeah.
Spending the night in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, people like seeing that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, it's outside the box. People are nosy. They want to know what you're doing, and they want to see all that cool stuff.
The
you
things
know?
that take off on YouTube are amazing. It's stuff you wouldn't even think of.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mhm.
So, no, back to dating, your daughter dating, which the reason why I went into that at first, because we're talking about my Facebook Messenger blowing up.
Oh, right. Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, but kids dating, Kelsey, she has a boyfriend, and
Would you say freshman year was like when you really had to?
it was 8th grade.
8th grade is okay. Yeah, so that's what Ava's in now.
Yeah, and he was a good kid, and I don't know what it is with these people these days, but they have these long relationships too. It is not like it's your boyfriend for like 2 days and you
Yeah.
break up by note, like you remember handwritten notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it ain't that anymore.
And drawing the 3 lines to make the S look really cool.
Oh
And then
gosh,
you do the slanted lines.
yes.
And then this thing that goes like back to the side.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
and you pick one. I love that game.
Can you right now make one of those?
No, I
bet you
cannot.
can't. Yeah.
No, but how cool is it though?
What did you pick in MASH? Who was your like?
Hell, I don't know. God, I mean, jeez. Like, I remember all those games, but man, those are good games. And you bring those back. Those some fun times.
Yeah. There needs to be like a MASH board game.
Yeah. But I remember,
Mansion, apartment, shack, house. That's where you, yeah.
I remember, like, you write a note, you're walking to your next period, you exchange the note,
It's like
and
a
then
2 weeks notice. Like you need written proof.
well, I
of
mean, like,
breaking up.
and then your friend will get mad at you if like you didn't write them while you're in class. I'm like, am I gonna have to
Yeah.
write 6 notes a day? I mean, my lord, it's like paragraphs, and that's how you used to break up with people, and how you used to tell them you like them and all that good stuff. Like, those are fun times.
Are you a
man.
big cursive person?
I don't do all that.
I only
Mm-mm.
print.
Only print.
Mm-hmm.
I love print. So, I mean, what was your question?
The answer is probably there is no answer.
There is no
You're
answer.
learning-
No,
you're
there's
learning
not.
as
They're
you
gonna
go.
do it.
Yeah.
And but I will say this. I'm a different. I'm like 3 different people. You have the business me.
Yeah.
You have the friend, hangout me, and you have the mom me. And I may seem like I'm that cool mom, and I mean, I guess people may think that, or fun to be around, or she's a fun mom. But really, if you ask Kelsey and Ty, like it's very structured in my house. They have to make good grades, and because to me, if you have the resources, then use them. There's no excuse, and they have to be respectful, and that's a big deal to me. And I used to be really, really strict, especially with Kelsey. She's my social butterfly, test the limits,
Yeah.
and I had to really, it was probably beginning of this year, like I had to really, or some beginning of summer of this year, a friend told me, a really good friend of mine said, Stacie, maybe you shouldn't be as strict. And I was like, no. Like at first I'm like, no, they're going to do this. But I really thought about it, and I sat back and I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter what I say. It matters that I'm a good mom to her. I give her that structure, and Ty as well. But she's going to test it. She's going to do it. And if I constantly worry about it all the time, it will just take over.
Yeah.
And I had to step back and go, I was a teenager. I did it. I'm sure I backtalked my mom all the time, but I was scared of my mama. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But like Kelsey will test me, but you're just gonna have to let her do it. You have to be confident enough to know that she sees you as a great dad. You have your rules, but you let her be a teenager. She's gonna respect you.
Yeah.
You
sure.
know, and a lot of times parents may not know this, but kids don't want to disappoint their parents.
Right. Yeah.
And there's been times where I've been disappointed. We're so far from perfect, it's unreal. And Kelsey and Ty, there's times where they've done things that have really disappointed me in a way that it hurts my feelings.
Right.
And then that's when they're like, I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. You can tell that they really will snap back out of it,
Yeah, and I think people appreciate hearing the realness.
Yeah.
We always see. Usually, you post pictures on social media of family at Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you never see.
Yeah.
You don't get a chance to see what's really going on, and
Yeah.
And so I definitely love hearing those stories. And we were talking before recording about how I've had some great public speakers on that have gone through some amazing challenges. Damon West and Jody Nolan and Cody Falcon, White House Person of the Year. And the episode that got the most downloads in the 24-hour period was Amber Arcana talking about the challenges of being a working mom with twins.
Yeah. It's just real. It's really, I see in our area, Southeast Texas, a lot of people, they just want to please society.
Yeah, they do.
They're out to please their Facebook friends. That's why some people will jump into the relationships, or, I read this meme that people are ready for weddings, not marriages.
Right.
You know,
That's deep.
they want to advertise all their new relationship, in a relationship, take a picture here, there, whatever. You know, they want that acceptance, but, it's not all peaches and cream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and
They're basing their societal worth on the number of likes. And
Yeah,
it's scary
yeah.
because all that could go away. Like Facebook is nothing. It's literally,
know,
it's
it's
just,
nothing.
I mean, it's just a database. It
like
could,
I said, I don't even know half my friends on there.
it could be gone tomorrow, and what are you going to do?
Yeah, like, and like we all post pictures. We want our friends and family to see our kids and, see what we're doing. And a lot of times it's so funny because you hear the word tossed around about fake book, like it's
Yeah.
fake. But it's like, okay, well, who's really going to post that, they got in an argument with their husband this morning?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who's really going to do that?
Yeah,
Now there are
exactly.
some people that do,
Yeah.
but not everybody's going to post their every move. That doesn't mean that they're the happiest people on earth.
Right.
They're just living life, And I really try my hardest to not judge anything
Yeah.
off of Facebook
'Cause
because
even-
I'm get judged all the time.
Let's think about an old school photo album where you had to go get the pictures printed at like Eckerd's and
Oh
you put them in a book. Well, what are the pictures that you put in that book? You put in the happy pictures, right? You don't, or the
Yes.
funny pictures. You don't put in.
Yeah.
You don't take a picture of yourself having a fight with your spouse and then put it in a physical photo book. Same thing. Now
Yeah.
it's just the online version. Of
And
that.
for me, I mean, to me, and I've had to learn this over time because I wasn't always like this, but like, you know what? If you're on Facebook, post what the hell you want.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's a
If you
good
want to post 10 selfies a day, hey, that's on you. If it comes up on my news feed, I'll like it.
Yeah.
If I don't see it, sorry. I mean, like,
Yeah, you've probably got friends that are marketing themselves in the fitness industry.
Yeah, I mean,
it's gonna be a
like,
lot of pictures.
it's a lot of, you can't like every single one like I wish I could.
Yeah.
Because I don't, to me, at the end of the day, if you're a good person, you have a good heart, and just because you may post something on Facebook or you post too much or you don't post enough or da-da-da-da-da-da, who cares? To me, it's like if they're happy at the end of the day, that's great.
Yeah.
Go for it,
Was it you that gave me the advice about wishing people a happy birthday on LinkedIn?
Yeah,
That
you
was
should.
Okay, yeah, because on Facebook you expect it. Because
Yeah.
everybody tells you happy birthday.
Yeah,
Usually you
yeah.
get hundreds. But you don't,
LinkedIn will blow up.
yeah, you don't get as many on LinkedIn.
Oh,
And-
see, LinkedIn, I have more.
right.
I
yeah.
mean, it was like insane the messages on there. But before, I mean, like a year ago, I probably wouldn't have got that many. But it's like when you start really building up your connections and followers and things like that, and when people start getting more educated on LinkedIn, they know the things that they should probably do. Do you know that on Facebook, and I'm so thankful to even have the friends, that do wish me a happy birthday on Facebook. I think that's so nice for them to take the time out of their day, and type that message, because I try to wish everyone a happy birthday. You never know who you're going to make feel good by doing that, and I'll go back on every single birthday post for me and tell them thank you.
Yeah.
And I'll do it on LinkedIn.
Right.
And it took about a half a day on LinkedIn on the message, because it's more of a message than on a post,
Yeah, right.
and told everyone thank you,
Yeah.
not just a generic post is good, but I don't
Yeah.
do that. I like to make them feel special,
Yeah.
you know?
That's great.
Um,
And things like that are time consuming, but also not, because I try to think of it like this: if you're in the business community, especially like on LinkedIn, you're trying to wish every single person that commented a
Yeah.
personalized message. Well, how long would it take you to call every single client you ever had?
Yeah.
Several hours, and it's the same thing. You're putting in the same effort. What's your thoughts on handwritten thank you cards?
I think that it is very important.
Yeah. 'Cause
See,
what do
and
you
this
what do
is-
you get in the mail these days?
You don't get one, and let me tell you, when somebody does,
We used to get excited when we got an email because we didn't get a lot of email.
Yeah.
Then we got inundated by emails. So now we
I
get
hate email.
we get excited about paper mail.
Yes, I love paper mail. Love it. Like you go in your mailbox, and I don't check my mail that often, maybe once a week, and I get it, and like,
You get the grocery ad.
Yeah, and then like, but if you see a card and you know your name is handwritten, I'm like, oh, what is it?
Yeah.
Is it a party?
Right. Like they took the
mean,
time to write my name, my address.
Yeah.
Put a sticker on it.
Yeah.
They put
So to me, I say this all the time to, anybody that I coach or build a relationship with, or, business wise. I don't really care how long it takes you. You should write that handwritten note.
Yeah.
And you should personalize it. Do not.
Oh, yeah.
I don't recommend printing it out.
No, and stamping. Yeah.
No. It's like, well, what's the point?
Oh, yeah. That'll probably go in the trash for me.
Yeah, it just so yes, a handwritten thank you cards. Oh my gosh, and that's what I was trying to say earlier about our generation, is that we know the old school way, but we also know the new school. You know what I'm saying? If that's a such thing in new school, I don't know, but the new ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like we can adjust all the social media and the marketing and business development and all the strategic ways of building relationships, but we also can hold a conversation, give a business card, shake their hand, get to know them and build a relationship personally as well.
Yeah, it's unique that almost everybody in our generation keeps up with the trends, but our parents didn't do that. So
Right.
when you had music from high school, your parents didn't listen to it, right?
No.
But we're listening to the same thing that
Yeah, of
our
course.
kids listen to. and if something new comes out next month, we're going to listen to that too.
Absolutely.
I don't know why other generations didn't.
I don't know.
that.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel lucky to be in the one I'm in for sure. But
I mean, same thing with fashion.
yeah.
with-
Yeah.
Like, our parents didn't do that either. They didn't adopt, current, whatever's trendy at this moment.
Oh yeah, no.
No.
Like I feel like parents then were like really look like parents.
Yeah.
Whereas now they're like, I wonder if you have a kid. I
Yeah.
mean, so yeah, I agree 100%.
'Cause
Like,
I'm not trying to look old. I'm trying to.
me neither.
No.
Heck no, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm Googling images, fashion.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth,
Yeah, all the
and
good
see what
stuff.
are they wearing?
Absolutely. Yeah, I do the same. I always look on Instagram. I do the same. I don't want to, I want to keep up with the trends, And I think also you just got to have that personality that wants to do that. There's people out there that are like, no, I'm good, which is good.
Were you always good at public speaking, or was that a learned craft?
No, it wasn't learned. No. I took speech in high school. Like I said, growing up, as much as I try not to even talk about it. I appreciate my mom. I tell you what, I was telling Amber Arcana one day, I said, my mom used to put me in these pageants and this and that. And, I don't really tell people that I was future Miss Beaumont at one time.
I never knew that.
Yeah. And I was Tiny Miss Beaumont, and I did several pageants all around. But I was like, yeah, she put me in there, whatever, this and that. And Amber goes, you know what? That's so sweet. And, and I looked at her, and she goes, your mom put you in that because she probably, she didn't want you going off in the wrong direction. And I was like, huh. I think you're right. I didn't think of it that way. And she kind of changed my point of view of my mom putting me in those pageants because we did not grow up in the best neighborhood. It would have been easy for me to be a totally different person than I am today.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I look at it positive now. I look at it as, wow, it really taught me to be in the interview process. You had to do interviews.
That's right. They put you on the spot.
Yeah, it was
and
like...
sometimes you don't always know the question.
No. And so you had to so those things were... I was able to take those things and apply it to daily life, in the work world and business and things like that. So it really did help,
Yeah, it's like resume level skills from...
Well, I don't know about all that,
from
but
pageantry.
I know. I will not say that now.
Okay.
I will not say that because I don't know how pageantry is now. I will say this, though. Teach our kids to work. You know what I mean? And to know that not everything is handed to you.
Right.
Because even though I was in those things and I did cheer, when I was at home, we had chores. And like I said, I mowed the grass and I did the same things my brothers did. It did not matter that I was a girl. So, that is what I really take from growing up is my mom and dad really taught me to be a hard worker. My mom didn't graduate college until I was 18, and she's a nurse now. So, I mean, yeah, we didn't have the best, life where everything was given to us, but, like, they taught us a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's very valuable. All right, well, let's wrap this up. Anything else you want to mention for the...
no,
the
I don't
folks out
know.
there?
No, I've enjoyed this. I feel like we could talk for hours.
Yeah, you and your friends definitely need to come back and do one with...
I would love that. I would love that. But I do want to say this. I don't want it to come off as like I think I'm somebody everybody, wants to send me a message. Not at all.
Oh, yeah. No.
I'm just the type that I don't want to waste anyone's time, So
Yeah, no, you've always
I don't want to
been-
come off like
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
but
no, you've always been polite and very down to earth. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you had me on. It's
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
thanks for coming. You're
Yeah,
welcome back
absolutely.
anytime. All right, we'll see y'all next time.